Hello viewers one and all, and welcome to our Minecraft podcast. Today we are going to cover big updates that have occurred in Minecraft itself and how it's grown as a game and then deflated and then gone back up again. So please welcome my wonderful colleagues, Alex Cross and Owen Manley. Say hello.
Sup?
So we all like Minecraft, yeah. We're all quite passionate about Minecraft. I've played for years now, so
Yeah, I think we all have, really.
yeah. So we all know what we're talking about, which is a very good thing. So we're just gonna get straight involved here, and I want to talk about when the game was first released in 2009 it was like a classic or pre-classic sort of thing. And back in that time, there was actually no real objective to the game. It was just you spawn in, you build some stuff, you kill some stuff, and that's really about it. I think there were like a few animals. There's like chickens, cows, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when they tried to add the pigs, fun fact, the creepers were added due to a fault in the coding. But it was clear that Mojang weren't really bothered by that, and they kept it in, which is now, one of the main faces of the video game industry, really.
Yeah, it's certainly iconic, the creeper as well.
Yeah, like if you can ask anyone really what's this, and they'll most definitely know what it is, even if it's like a Minecraft cynic or something like that. But the first update that I want to talk about is the Redstone update. That was a brilliant update. The Redstone update included it sort of expanded what Redstone could do, as Redstone was already presently in the game. It added in things like the Redstone block, and comparators and dispensers, hoppers, stuff like that. And it just really expanded what you could do within the game. What do you think?
Yeah, it's brought like so much more variety. Inside what you can do and the contraptions you can make as well.
Yeah, I mean basically before Redstone could like open doors and like move some pistons about and that was it. But like now you can make traps and stuff and it's just just better.
Yeah, I was going to say like with the addition of a comparator, which I am going to put my hands up and say I did not know anything about until a few weeks ago, but it's just an easier way of using a repeater, yeah. It has an output on one end, and the redstone can go through two different ends, so it's a lot quicker for contraption to work, and you can add more in and make it more compact as well. So they also added things like daylight sensors, which I thought were pretty useless before, but now I think about it, it actually is very, very clever.
Yeah.
Because you can have things like, if you were really, really, really good at redstone, you could have, like a fence that comes up at nighttime and down in the daytime.
Yeah.
So zombies and stuff like that don't come in as long as you have a well-lit area. But like I said, I thought they were completely useless before, but now I think they're brilliant.
Yeah, you've got to do the same thing with torches as well. Make the torches turn on when it comes night.
Yeah, exactly. But this a lot of these updates have a main title, but they also include different things that aren't actually related to that. So, for instance, with this update, it's Nether quartz and quartz blocks, because they weren't in the game before, but they were added into the Nether, which was really one of the only few updates that have been added to the Nether since the release. It was added in and it made everything look a bit more dynamic. They don't really have a proper use.
And they're just white.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes it. I mean, you wouldn't really want an iron house, would you? I mean, quartz looks a lot better. It's better.
Yes.
It's better for the new people from the modern house genre who like to build big complex houses that are square and have many different angles and stuff like that, but the white really complements that.
Yeah, the quartz block is my favourite block, and it gives you like tons of XP when you're mining it as well.
Yeah,
so obviously you can go in and
And it's
enchant weapons.
yeah,
and
it's so
that.
easy to mine as well.
Yeah.
Like once you have an iron pickaxe, you're fine. And you
Yeah.
know, with stuff
You can
like
also like make chisels, quartz, and that in the crafting menu and that.
Pillars and
Stairs,
stuff.
everything. Really good block.
yeah, really, that update really was quite full of stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was well.
It was a very good update. But we're going to move swiftly on to the second update I want to talk about, which is the Bountiful update. The Bountiful update included things such as andesite, diorite, and granite, which are all different variants of stone. You can find them or you can craft them, I do believe.
You can like craft you can make them smoother, but you can't like craft.
Yeah, you
the
can make
block.
polished ones,
Yeah.
which is completely useless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't look good, and they're just
Yeah,
they
it's
just
fit on my
clog up,
chest.
yeah they just clog up the inventory.
Yeah, so I feel like they used more of a a block where you cross ravines and stuff like that. They're just there for you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
construct really, or you want to get up somewhere higher, so you use those to get up there. But yeah, I didn't really understand why they added them when they first were added.
No.
It's just
I know, it's like, what's wrong with cobblestone?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you have to get rid of
Honestly,
some of that?
like you can get cobblestone,
Yeah,
anywhere,
I know.
literally anywhere, and then they just they sprinkle in these horrible new blocks.
It's like
Yeah.
having like the different types of wood. They're like but they look better than whatever andesite and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're still just like it's still kind of just useless.
I guess one of the uses for them as well, I think, like, we'll touch on this, but like when you go on like long mining trips and that, like you can build things, and because I know like sometimes I'll go out my way and just like get like 4 stacks of dirt, so if I need to build up or somewhere I can do that,
Yeah.
but then that does destroy the landscape,
Yeah,
which isn't ideal really.
I know. It's like you spawn in. The thing is, when you spawn into a plate, like into the world, you find the perfect spot where it's like flat, but it's not entirely flat.
Yeah.
Where you can build your house and it looks nice, and then if you go out and destroy the landscape, it just looks
Yeah.
horrible, and you'll probably want to move house.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's easy to do, but you don't really want to do that.
No, yeah. And this was what those blocks kind of prevent in a way.
Yeah. I mean, well, speaking of dirt, they added in coarse dirt, which is it was added into the crafting dictionary, where you can get 4 dirt blocks and you put them in a square, obviously 4x4, and you get coarse dirt. I found that very weird to look at, really. It replaced things like grassless dirt and the what's it called, gravel in the biomes such as the taiga, the savannah and things like that. So it just changed, sort of how everything looked in different biomes, because obviously
Yeah.
they didn't want all the grass and all the dirt to look the same. So they added in that, and then you can find that there if you really wanted to go out of your way and look for it.
Yeah.
I guess it just like I don't know. I guess it's like for a path and stuff.
Mm.
But I think at that point they were just trying to add stuff just to like for the sake of it. Like there's no use for anything, but they
Yeah.
were just adding
Yeah, it was sort of like we need to add an update, so let's add this in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, really pointless.
But as well as these new blocks, they added in new food, which I wanted to talk about, which is like
Yes.
sheep, mutton, and rabbit and stuff like that. I think people were like, because chickens ran out very quickly.
Yeah.
That's what I found, because they die so easily. It's just like, where are you going to get your chicken from? Beef and pork was just like, oh, we're going to get the same thing over and over again. So Mojang were like, you know what? Let's add in sheep, mutton. So you can get the obviously the wool, but you can also get mutton from them as well as the rabbit, which is a fun little challenge in its own way. They're quite annoying to kill, really, especially if you're on not on a PC or anything, because obviously if you're moving around with a joystick instead of a mouse, it's harder to hit, and it's really fast, so it's really hard to run up and catch them again, and it's just like it's all right to do. I mean, I don't know, I think it's like 3 food bars, right, when you eat cooked rabbit.
I believe so.
the same as chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, so what, 3.5?
I think it's really good that they added it though, because especially like when like just made a new world, you gotta like find like a house, gotta make a bed, and you also gotta make sure you have some like food as well. So like I've been around and like only found like sheep, and at the time it was only giving me a wool.
Yeah,
and
and
then
it was useless,
wasn't very
wasn't it?
helpful.
I mean, I think that might have been one of the reasons why they added it in, if I'm honest, because, you know, you'd find sheep around, and they're useful until you've got enough wool for a bed.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you can get really easily, and then they're just there for no reason.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, they added in the meat just to make it a bit more, give them a bit more reason for being there,
Yeah.
I would say.
Give them a second use.
Yeah. You know, in this update they also added ocean monuments, which I found, I didn't actually really know about because I never used to go out into the ocean.
No.
I used to be like, I'm just going to stay on land because I knew if I was going to go out into the ocean I'd get myself killed or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I'd just get lost because, you know, the ocean is just like once you turn in a direction and you forget what direction you turned, you're screwed really.
Yeah. I think that's like a really good like thing they've added, because especially with the new like Infinite Worlds, like there'll be like mass oceans, there's just like nothing in it. But now you have like all the like monuments, and that actually serves a purpose.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and hunt that.
Yeah, I mean, these monuments consist of, I think, 6 different rooms or something like that. And in one of the rooms they have an 8x8, I think, block full of gold. So it's really like, once you've killed all the new mob, which is the Elder Guardian that you find in there, or the Guardians, you kill all them off, you've killed all that, and then it's like, there's your reward. And you got wet sponge and stuff like in there too, which is what they added as well. So wet sponge, you know, or just normal sponge, you just put it down, you can drain out the ocean monument as fast as you want, as long as you've covered the hole where you've come in.
Yeah.
So it's a very useful feature, you know, you got the sponge so you can clear everything out, and then you can mine the gold faster if you wanted to. But like, I thought they would have added in like a better sort of reward really, because there's not really much use for gold apart from the fact that it's really bad armor and tools.
Yeah. And it's also like, it's not like that easy as well to like beat like the ocean monument. So I think there should be like something better, but you know.
I think they just added it like to add another boss, like, you know, you got the End of Dragon and the Wither, and like now you've got another one. I think they just added it so there'd be more like fun, and there'd be more to do after you've defeated the End of Dragon, I guess, or before. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they might have done that. But it's in a completely different area as well. So you'll be underwater. You'll need these potions or whatever, like these water breathing potions that and you'll be under there for a really long time, especially especially if you're in obviously you're in the ocean. It's going to be quite deep. You're going to need a lot of these potions. You're going to have to have worked hard, and it's like to work hard just to get up to a certain point where you're going to go kill a new boss. It's sort of relieving in a way. It's sort of like I've done this, and now this is my reward. So I think it's in a way it's a lot different. I mean, the Nether's probably the easiest one to, you know, go in and get things from, because it's literally just like you find diamonds, you get obsidian, there you are. You know, and then it would be the ocean monuments, and then it'd be the end, because obviously the end you've got to kill all these Endermen. You've got to, you know, basically it's impossible to complete the game if you're in peaceful mode. So it's a bit, but. The last major block they added in this update was the slime block, which I thoroughly enjoy myself.
Yeah, it's the best block.
It's just I wouldn't say it's the best. It's one of the best, but it's just fun, isn't it? You know, you've killed all these slimes, and obviously before the slime, you know, just the slime balls were useless. Really, I don't know if they had any use apart from leads or something
sticky
like
pistons,
that.
I think.
Yeah, and so it was like. Yeah, but you'd have all this spare slime left over. So now that you can craft it into a block and then bounce around wherever you want, I think it's brilliant. Yeah. Especially, you know, you can link them with the whole redstone thing that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, if you had... I remember I was playing Hunger Games once on the PlayStation 4, and before the map there's a starting lobby, and there's an area where you have a set of pistons with sticky... what's it called, slime blocks on the top, and after you walk over a pressure plate, you'll be straight onto the slime block, and it'll send you flying upwards. It's brilliant. I love it. It's just yeah, it's just fun. And obviously, if you live near a swamp, then the slimes are going to be almost, there every time. So I think
I think it also made like slimes have more of a purpose.
Yeah.
Because like before, I would avoid slimes at all costs because you kill one, they multiply, you kill them again, they keep multiplying. It's just like just ridiculous. And then what do you get? You get like 3 slime like things.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
I do understand that. It's like we said about the whole Elder Guardian thing. It's more of a reward
Yeah.
sort of thing. It's like, here, you've killed all these things that are really annoying. Now you can have some fun. And you can, build a slime block and then bounce about for ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just it's one of the most satisfying things ever because you can jump from a high place onto a slime block and you'll just bounce up somewhere else. As long as there's something on the other side to break your fall, you should be fine. But
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Update number 3 is the combat update. This was added in 2016, February. This update wasn't so big as the Bountiful update. Like the Bountiful update had a bunch of stuff coming in. It had all these ocean monuments and stuff like that. But the combat update was just a bit more sort of it doesn't affect the world around you. It sort of affects you rather than what goes on. Like as we said with coarse dirt in the Mega Taiga and the Savannah biomes. It firstly added the chance where you could have 2 items in out, so you could have one in each hand, sort of thing. So, the player could choose what hand they wanted. They could have the actual hand or the offhand for like a shield or a torch or something like that. I think a lot of the time before that was added in, there was a mod where you could have torches and stuff out like that. So it was sort of gave a sort of relief, I would say, to a lot of the players, where it's just like, oh, we don't have to have this mod installed anymore. We can finally, have what we want.
Yeah, especially like the torch when you go mining. That's like really, really useful.
But the easy way I think this only came out on PC for a while, just for because Minecraft was mainly made for PC. So players could change that hand by just pressing F. So it was just as simple as you could change offhand, you could change to your actual hand. So you could easily do 2 swords really. So you could dual wield and you'd look sick, but you'd also be quite damaging. Because say if you're playing Hunger Games, you can just spam F and click as hard as you can, and you'll just be unstoppable. But with this feature came the shield, which was a long time wanted item by a lot of the players. I speak for myself when I say that. I'm sure I speak for you as well. I mean, let's be honest, like shields are just so useful. It's like the community wanted it for such a long time, because it just helps you not die, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times a skeleton has killed me. Skeletons are my worst enemy, but like when you have a shield, it's just easier to get them because you just right click, and there it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a lot easier to survive now. Were you going to say something?
I don't know. I don't really like shields.
Oh, really?
Why not?
I don't know. They're pretty useless, I guess. In my opinion, like they like you still get damaged. They don't prevent you from being damaged and everything, but like you could block with your sword before. And that basically did the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The shield replaced that mechanic.
Yeah, but like it's pretty useless.
I do understand slightly where you're coming from. It does take off quite a large chunk of the screen, like the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Like you're just walking around and you can't see around the shield and stuff like that. So it is quite annoying at times. I do understand that.
I also don't like that they got rid of blocking with your swords, because
Yeah.
everyone who plays Minecraft knows that's like a symbol for peace and
Yeah.
teaming, especially in Hunger Games.
But if you're that's actually a good point. If you have the shield up, it just looks like you're ready to fight them.
Yeah. You just have to spam crouch now.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the shield is it blocked attacks from anywhere in a 180-degree radius from in front of you. So you were basically protected at all costs if you had the right click on when you had your shield out, because it's just sort of it's just there. It blocks every attack in front of you. It doesn't do anything from behind you, so creepers can still sneak up on you and scare the living daylights out of you. But I think it's cool. But the other item, another item they added in was tipped arrows. So obviously these were you had your normal arrows, you had your bow, and that was basically it. That was the only projectile you could really hurt people with, apart from potions. But potions were really annoying to come by. So you'd what was I going to say? Yeah, so you basically just take your normal arrows, you get a potion, and you put them together, and then you get I don't know how many arrows it comes out with. I think it may be like 3 or something like that. But it just added a new way to sort of keep people keep mobs at a distance, or people or whatever.
Yeah.
But still do damage. So obviously you got like weakness potions, or you got harming or poison or whatever. But it just added for a really nice new mechanic in the game.
I think like against anything other than bosses, it's completely useless. Because I don't really need a tipped arrow to kill a spider or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But when it comes against like the Ender Dragon and that, like it can be like ridiculously useful. Help kill it a lot quicker.
Yeah, I get that.
Also, you said like that potions are like they're annoying and everything, but you still need a potion to make the arrows. So it's just the same thing, except.
I'm just saying, I think when you put the potion and the arrow together, it comes up with more than just one arrow, is what I'm trying to say. So
I guess.
you do spend time making the potions, but you do get more out of it as a end game sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
They also added in spectral arrows, which I didn't actually know about. Spectral arrows are if you hit, I think it's used mostly for PvP, but if you hit somebody with said arrow, there's an outline that goes up around them, so it's sort of like a UAV sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you hit them, you can see them wherever they are for a short amount of time, and then you can obviously hunt them down and kill them, whatever you want to do in the Hunger Games and stuff like that. But I thought that was a really cool thing when I found out, like when I researched about it, because I didn't know it was there, and then I saw it and I was like, wow, maybe that's why people kept killing me so easy, or because I used to play on PC. I think it was just for PC. I'm not entirely sure. But I used to play on there. I was like, why these people
give you like such an advantage as well against everyone, really.
Exactly. I thought it was a great addition when I first saw it. But they also added another variation on potions. So speaking on potions, which I really don't like making, they added in the new variation, which was lingering potions. So they're the ones that they have all the exactly like the same effects as every other potion in the game. It's just the way they're used rather than what the potion actually is. So these ones were throwable, like obviously the throwable potions, but instead of being thrown and then landing and then all the damage absorbing onto one player and like there's no after effect, you throw it, it lands, and then there's a graphic which shows up, and it's like the bubbles and stuff like that, and you see that, and if anybody who walks into it, so even if you're the person that threw it, you could still be damaged by it, or you could still be healed by it. So I thought that was quite clever of them, really, because obviously I think these would be used more in like a PvP sort of thing, but I thought it was quite clever, because if you had thrown it at someone, you'd gone after them, then they'd hit you back into what you already thrown down. It's sort of like a kick in the and I thought that was quite clever on the part of Mojang, to be honest. I mean, it was just quite fun.
I don't think they're really needed, like, because like if you see something on the ground, then you're not gonna walk into it, are you? Like, unless you're like walking backwards or something, or like you're fighting someone.
Yeah.
But like they have speed ones as well and stuff, and like jump boosts, but like
and healing ones. That's what I was saying. That's what I thought at first, because I was just thinking about the damage ones and stuff like that. But if you're on a team with someone, which you shouldn't be if you're on Hunger Games, but if you're on a team or stuff like that, and you throw down a healing potion, everybody in the vicinity is going to be healing up for a while, because they still linger for like 5-10 seconds, something like that. So you can definitely fulfill or refill all of your hearts again. from said potions.
But I haven't used it like personally. But like if it does a lot of damage, like because I think of it as like the Ender Dragon when he throws just like breath down the ground and it stays there. That does a lot of damage. If it does the same as that, then it really can come in use.
Yeah, I mean, I've used them personally. I think they're brilliant. You know, because you can find them around as well, rather than just making them yourself, which is the same with a lot of other potions. But you know, I think those ones are the best ones personally. So the next thing I want to talk about is the update Aquatic. I really like this update a lot. It's the most recent one at the moment, I believe, apart from the new texture update. This one was added in July 2018, and this update obviously, you know, largely supports many new mobs rather than structures in the ocean and stuff like that. So you know, there were so many different mobs added in just to make the ocean seem a bit less, you know, desert, which is kind of like a bit of irony really, because you know, but they added in things like dolphins. And dolphins, they had quite a few traits really, which I thought was quite funny, but also makes it useful, because if you fed a dolphin raw fish, it would lead you to an ocean monument, or it'd lead you to a shipwreck, which is one of the new features they added in as well. So you know, there's definitely a big reward from feeding a dolphin, because it will take you somewhere, and you can get good stuff like the potions and stuff that we talked about earlier, or diamonds or iron or whatever. It's especially useful when you first start the game, because you know you can be fishing for a bit, get a fish, feed a dolphin, and then it'll send you right to a place where you can get good items and stuff like that. But if you attack the dolphins, they possess the same mechanic as zombie pigmen and wolves. When you hit them, every single one of them in the vicinity comes and gets you, which I thought was really kind of scary if you thought about it.
Yeah, it certainly isn't fun.
Yeah, exactly. You think of dolphins as nice, friendly, you know, we're going to help you creatures, and then you hit it, and they just go straight after you, and it's like, oh my god, okay, I need to get out of here as fast as possible.
It's like when a witch hits you with its potion of weakness, I think it is.
Yeah. But I thought, it kind of scares me. But I think it's also quite good as well, just because it adds more threat to the ocean rather than just drowning out there.
Obviously, like as well, with this like wonderful things they put in the ocean, they've added arguably the worst mob in the game to the ocean as well, to kind of counter out this all the amazing stuff. Yeah. Which is obviously the drowns.
Oh, the drowned.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. Like, basically, for the people that don't know what drowns are basically just zombies that have drowned, hence the name drowned. They're horrible. They're fast underwater.
I know.
Which zombies shouldn't be. They're not fast. Yeah. But they're fast underwater. You're slow underwater. So if you get seen by one, you have to go as fast as you can to get away with them. You can't attack or anything, which is really annoying. No. Actually, it's just like, why are they there?
Yeah, I know. And it comes out the water. You stay in the water, mate. You're drowned.
Exactly.
Get back in the water.
They're literally amphibian. They can go out on land and be in the water at the same time, which I hate. It's just, because I set up a house next to a lake once, and I woke up from my slumber, and I just see the drown. They're just stood there, and they're not out because obviously they'd burn. They still burn the same as zombies do when they're out of the water. Yeah. But they were just stood on the very shallowest bit, just staring at me as I walked up my house, and I just didn't want to leave. Because the only way to get to the village was across the river, so I'd have to walk through the river. So I had to spend a bunch of time waiting for trees to grow just to build a bridge over the river, so I didn't get attacked by drowned, because I died to the same drowned 3 times and lost every single one of my items 3 times. Yeah. And it just, I hate them so much.
Luckily, they have added, you can make a conduit, which will stop them spawning in a certain radius, but you do need the Natura shell, which drowns holds, and they drop occasionally. So you've got to go and kill the drowns to get rid of the drowns.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't think they're that bad. I mean, they're zombies underwater. You can kill them easily. Like,
But
just
that's the thing. That if they have tridents, they're especially
Yeah.
worse. Because they'll throw them at you. You can't do anything
Yeah.
about it. You'll just be hit and you'll go,
Yeah.
oh. And as well as that, you'll be drowning as well.
Yeah.
So you'll be underwater trying to fight a drowned. They're hurting you whilst you're drowning.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much an instant death. And I hate that.
Yeah. And you can't use your bow because the arrow just
Just
goes
flops,
away.
yeah.
And the only way you can kill them from range is by having a trident, which you had to kill them to get the trident.
Exactly. It's just like,
Yeah, you just got to like take away half your health with your sword out trying to get to it.
yeah, I know. And I just, it's horrible. But you know, I do want to talk about the other mob, the other hostile mob that they added in, which was the Phantoms. The Phantoms are actually not so bad, especially if you don't know about the update. The Phantoms are basically they're mobs that will attack you if you haven't slept in 3 days, 3 game days.
Not real life.
If you're on Minecraft for 3 days straight, I would recommend you sign off or something like that. But they come down just out of nowhere from the sky. You hear them and you're like, oh god, and then they just poof, and they just attack you. And it's just like, oh my god, what do I do?
Yeah.
But it's like they don't actually have that much health. I think it takes like 3 or 4 hits from an iron sword to get
but
them.
like they fly down, they hit you, and then they instantly fly back up. Same again. Like they're incredibly hard to like hit. I think they're worse than the drowns.
Yeah. And it gives you a heart attack when it
Yeah,
first
they're
hits
like
you.
jumps.
I
they're like
jump
jump
on my
scares.
skin every single time.
And see, that's the other thing. It's the other reason why they're so scary is because I think they're really the third or second mob to actually have flying ability. I think it's third apart from the Ender Dragon and the Ghast, because they're just up in the sky. Like, because the Ender Dragon and the Ghast, you know they're going to be there because they're in different places. But in the real world, you're there, and the only flying mob that is there is out to get you, and it's just like, oh god, you know. So you know, it comes down, it gets you all the time. It's just like it has the ability to fly rather than glide, like chickens and stuff like that. So it just adds up for even more of a heart attack. Really.
I remember one time I was on this what I was doing. I made a little like pillar thing. I was on top of it fishing in to get some enchanted books and that. And then I got hit by the Phantom. I jumped on my skin. I jumped into the lake that I was in, and then all the drowns started coming after me. It didn't end well.
Oh, that's horrible. It's just the new mobs. I think they're brilliant. They're really good, but they're also really bad at the same time because there's nothing you can do about a lot of them. But I want to go back to the drowns and the tridents for a second, because the tridents were actually very useful in a way, because once you killed a drowned, hopefully, if you haven't died yet, and they dropped a trident for you, you'd be able to find enchantments for said trident, which would make it actually a very, very powerful thing for you to have. So it had like the loyalty enchantment, which you could have, which would make it come back to the player after you'd thrown it.
Yeah.
The Impaler enchantment increases the damage to mobs classified as aquatic. So if you throw it at drowned, it would increase the damage, which is, I think, is thank you. And then you've got, the Riptide enchantment, which lets a player lunge forward while using it. So I think you hold down right click, it charges up, and then when you let go, it sends you forward. I think that's a good way of getting around it, really. And then the last one is the Channeling enchantment, which is the best one.
Yeah,
which lets you summon lightning.
Yeah.
You become Thor.
Yeah.
If you have said enchantment I think that's brilliant. I love that. Imagine that, because you can make the supercharged creepers all you want, because lots of supercharged creepers are very rare, because we haven't brought this up, but if a creeper gets hit by lightning, it turns into a supercharged creeper, which blows up 10 times as much as a normal one would. But you could make them all you wanted, and you could make a proper mining system out of supercharged creepers.
Yeah.
You just summon lightning down on a creeper.
Yeah.
And poof. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it.
The only sad thing is, though, it does need to be raining for you to be able to summon the lightning.
Yeah.
And it doesn't I'm not sure what the chance of rain is, but I know from my experience, I don't get rain that much.
Yeah, it's not a lot. But I do want to head back a bit, because something else that they added to make the ocean seem less dead were fish as a physical entity rather than just one that you have to fish for. So instead of, you do get less fish as a result of killing them physically, but I think they're great. They've removed clownfish and they added in tropical fish instead, which I found quite sad because I do like clownfish. But you know, they make the ocean bodies just look more full. So if you're especially if you're in an area without an ocean monument and without all the seaweed and stuff like that, which they added in as well, the fish just make it look better. Obviously, you got the tortoise. You got them as well. You can get the shells, which help you breathe underwater for a while. I think this update was just a great update overall. It really was. Gave you the power to summon lightning.
Yeah.
What's not to love? But if you rewind back to the Redstone update, we were talking about the Nether, and this is the last update I want to talk about, which is the Nether update, which hasn't been released yet, but it shall be released soon. After the time of our recording. So the Nether update is focused solely on revamping the Nether, which thankfully they've finally done, because I just get bored of the Nether every time I walk in. I just go in there for the netherrack or the blocks and stuff like that, and that's about it, or the fungus or whatever it is that grows in there. But they finally revamping it, so you've got new biomes in the Nether, which I found very interesting, such as, you know, you've got the Soul Sand Valley. You've got the Nether Wart Forest. You've got the two different variants, which is the red and the blue. So those are the three new biomes. What do you think of those? I think they're amazing.
I really can't wait for that.
Especially the blue forest. I think that looks amazing. It adds a new blocks as well. Like there's a new unnamed light source block which we still hasn't been released.
Yeah.
You got the new wood for the trees, or wood whatever they would be, and the leaves and the stuff. You got blue fire as well, which I thought was pretty sick.
Yeah.
You got the bone blocks, which were previously only found in creative, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And now you can find them in survival, obviously, due to the Nether Soul Sand Valley.
I think
there.
Soul Sand Valley can and will get really annoying.
Oh yeah,
because you're gonna be going so slow.
Yeah, that's the thing most people aren't recognizing. Is the fact, it's a new biome, but you're going to be moving so slowly through there. It's unbelievable. You'll just be like...
You have to build a bridge to get over and that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't think it's I just want to see how all the mobs get along in there, because from the videos that we've seen, there aren't any mobs in there at the moment.
No.
So I just want to see if there'll be ghasts and, the new mobs that we're going to talk about in a second in there as well. So yeah, those mobs, that new mob. Well, we're going to talk about the hostile one first, because they are officially replacing zombie pigmen. So rest in peace, zombie pigmen. You will be missed. They were actually one of my favourite mobs, not going to lie. It's just the noises they made compared to what they looked like. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But these will be called zombified piglins. I'm not a fan of the name, but I am a fan of what they do, because what they do is, I think, amazing. What they do is they're basically the same as their predecessors, the zombie pigmen. They're naturally, benevolent. Really, they're just there. Until you attack them, obviously they'll come after you. But you do have a new trading system which comes with them, which I find amazing. You throw anything that you think would be of value towards them, and they'll throw something back for you. So maybe like a wither skull or something like that. That'd be great.
Yeah,
you can get your nether star and stuff like that. There's also the new mechanic where if you find a chest in the nether and there's piglins nearby, they'll come and attack you if you try and take anything out of the chest, which I think is great. Yeah, what do you think of them?
Yeah, I think that's really good, because also I think when you're going to be looting fortresses and that, you're going to have the piglins coming after you, and that, which I think will make it a lot scarier. than what it previously was.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with the addition of their brothers, I guess I'd say, is the piglin beasts, which are the new food source in the Nether. Yes, I'm sorry, Rotten Flesh, you are a joke to us, but you know, you got, they drop pork the same as any other pig, but they do turn hostile, which I find quite strange. It's
the Nether. I mean, everything's hostile.
I know, but it's just like a mob that attacks you for attacking it because you have they have a food source that you want. I don't think is that a thing for anything else? Because I don't think it is. I think it's not. So it's the only mob really that has a proper food source coming from it that isn't rotten flesh that will attack you if you go anywhere near it, which I think is quite cool. I think they're quite powerful. Yeah. They have a knockback ability as well, so they'll send you flying backwards after you've gone to attack them, which I think is pretty cool.
And also the piglins and piglin beasts, the name is still in development, so we only hope for a better name, really.
I am hoping for a new name, but with this update, they will also be adding something to the overworld, which are goats in the mountain ranges. Goats, these only came around due to fans. They held like a contest thing at Minecon, where, you know, what did they want or how did they want things to change? So the fans said that they wanted the mountain ranges to be better formed rather than just, you know, big hills. So they wanted proper mountain ranges, and then on those mountain ranges you would find goats. Goats, I guess, would drop mutton as well, the same as a sheep.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd drop like horns or something like that. That'd be sick. You could add them to like a helmet or something. You could look like a proper cool guy.
I can't work out if that's useless or not.
I think it is. Like, I think they could have. That's a pretty boring choice. I think they could have chosen something like a different.
Yeah.
We got like llamas and that already.
You got like pandas and stuff as well, and you got like all these different. But I do get what you're coming from. But I think it's one of the only appropriate animals to be there, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because mountain goats, obviously, you're going to only find them in the mountains, and if you're getting better mountain ranges now, they're probably going to be, you know, big, steep, vast, snowy mountain tops.
Yeah, but and then that leads to question now. But like, the only reason you'd really get up there is if you're unlucky enough to spawn at the top of one.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I've had a very, very successful survival world where I've been based on top of a mountain. And I think it'd be great because then you just look like a big goat farmer on the top of the hill, and you look like and then if say you're in a giant survival world just on 9, somebody comes along your house and they see there's a scary goat farmer at the top, they're not going to assault you. I think it's brilliant. But yeah, that's all the updates we want to talk about. Did you want to add anything else onto that?
No.
No, they're all pretty good, other than like some of the useful things, some of the useless things that they've added that don't serve a purpose at all.
Yeah, I mean, there are many other updates that we could have explored, but we chose these ones because I think they had the most substantial contribution to the game definitely. Itself. Yeah. You know, there was the update, the horses, but horses they're still confusing to me, to be honest. So you know, there are many different updates. They all did things, but the ones that we have talked about, we feel are the most. They had the most contribution to the game and made it different to how it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also chose these because they had a positive response from the players, because they all had great reviews. You know, and it helped sculpt how the game is today, and I think that's brilliant. I think that's the only way things should have been.
Yep.
Anything else to add?
No,
before we write this off, we are going to talk about something else. I was just tricking them. Minecraft has lost its popularity over the last year or two due to the upcoming game genres, the Battle Royale genre, which I'm pretty sure everybody has played at least once.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously these games included things like PUBG, Fortnite, and H1Z1. However, Minecraft did coincidentally add things, they actually created the Battle Royale genre themselves, which Alex shall now explain.
Yeah, well, basically, like, on servers and stuff, like, on the PC, I guess, they started making, like, Hunger Games, which are based on the movie, obviously. And, yeah, where, like, the players would go around and attack each other. And it's basically the same thing as Fortnite, except, like, Fortnite and PUBG and all that, like, they just, like, they made money off of that idea that they didn't create, basically.
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to draw attention to, mainly, well, basically Fortnite, which is Minecraft inspired, I would say, the whole building aspect of Fortnite. Especially because, Minecraft's just been such a groundbreaking game, really, so people obviously want to take from that. But, people such as, Ninja and people like Muselk and Creator and stuff like that, they've all switched to Fortnite because, it's the thing to do, really.
Yeah.
But after a while, Fortnite started to lose its popularity due to some of the updates, like the Borderlands 3 update and stuff like that, which we're not going to talk about now because it's Fortnite and we're talking about Minecraft. But Minecraft started to gain its position back after losing all of its hype for a while, because nobody was making content on it anymore, apart from the hardcore Minecraft people like Dan TDM and stuff like that. But even they still played Fortnite. But after a while, perhaps one of the world's biggest celebrities, Felix Schellberg, I think I'm saying that correctly, PewDiePie, released a video on Minecraft as, I think, a nostalgic look back onto his first ever video on YouTube, which was of Minecraft, where he first started, and now look where he is. He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, celebrity on YouTube. He began to make a series out of the game, naming all these different mobs and all these different things, so it gained back more character, and and then people were just hooked on the idea that Minecraft was back on top, and all these Fortnite only creators, such as like the people we talked about before, like Muselk and Creator, they all moved to Minecraft because it's just the way to go, and I don't blame them for doing that. Really, it's the way to get views. It's the way to
I think like when PewDiePie did it, went back to, I think it really started a massive snowball effect. Like all the other YouTubers going back to it. PewDiePie's Minecraft series, the first one got 22 million views, which is just insane. And then also inspired Minecraft Mondays, and that of some of the biggest YouTubers, people like James Charles, Ninja, everyone. It was such a collective of different people from all different parts of YouTube and does different internet personalities. Really brought everyone in to the game.
Yeah, no, I think that even though it's on the come down now, the whole Minecraft uproar is back on the come down, people still are regarding it as the most well-known, well-loved game, even on the on the planet Earth. And everyone that played it has enormous respect for it, as I do. But like I said before, some people have stuck around on Minecraft for the entire time that has been out, and they started on the game, and it looks like they're most likely going to finish on the game because these updates are still coming out after all these years. So these people are people such as Dan TDM or Stampy Longnose. And Sky Does Minecraft, people like that. Sky Does Minecraft actually left doing Minecraft videos and now is back on it after doing after doing music. But in particular, Dan TDM has built his whole life as it is today around Minecraft, and his whole channel has been built around that. And as a result of this, he has become one of the most rich people in the UK. After just doing what. Not becoming part of a whole corporation. His net worth today is around £16 million, which I think is mind-blowing, really. If you think about where he's come from, a game which costs about £20 to buy, or £12, £13, and he's built £16 million off of that. I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could have done any better, really.
I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. you going to say something?
I was, but I forgot.
Okay.
I'm also really interested to what you guys think was the reason why people left and why people came back. So like Alex, what would you say the reason was for that?
Well, it kind of like died off because like, you know, it was out for ages and like I don't really know. It's just like, you know, every game like has a time in the sun. But every game, you know, has a cloud, I guess. But then yeah, PewDiePie is basically the entire reason that it came back. I think like as soon as you started playing it, everyone else was playing it.
Yeah. What about you, Will?
I think, like I said earlier, it's due to the Battle Royale games coming out. Obviously, Fortnite and all that. Fortnite, the biggest one, came out in about 2016, which was when I think the combat update was out. And obviously, if the combat update wasn't that big, Fortnite could easily just steal the spotlight straight away, which is sort of a link that you can make there. I think that people saw the updates as starting to become less and less creative. They started to see it as being, you know, just another game which is just putting in updates for the sake of it. And I think that the reason it's come back up is the same as what Alex said, is, you know, somebody famous has started doing it, now everybody else wants to do it. It's just sort of like a knock-on effect that people seem to have, really. But another thing that I think helped Minecraft grow back was its 10th birthday. So, as people should know, it's been out for 10 years now, which is a substantial amount of time for a game to still be relevant, really.
Yeah.
Especially, like, people could argue that Call of Duty and stuff like that are still relevant, but that's because they've released many different games over the years. But this is one game that's stuck around for 10 years, which and I think the fact that it became 10 years old drew people back because of nostalgia. They're like, oh, I used to play that, let's go see what it's doing now. And it meant that the game had a revival because people were not used to all the new updates that they'd left behind. So people could have left before the Bountiful update, before the Aquatic update, and they come back now to see the Combat update and, you know, the Aquatic update and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just means that they have a new grasp on Minecraft, they have a new thing to research and explore within the game. And that's my thing.
I also feel that like Minecraft, like before like all these updates as well, is very like varied, like especially like with Redstone, because that's like fairly like complicated. So for like a child like 7 years old, they probably wouldn't understand that. So like so when I started playing, I was probably around 10, and then I went off it and then I came back, and now I've like really understood like the Redstone part, which is always there, but I've just like never been able to like grasp it.
No, absolutely, yeah. I think that's the same sort of thing with me. Before, I was just like, Redstone's kind of useless in a way. Yeah. That's how I saw it, but now I see it now and it's like, wow, look at all this stuff you can do. There's people that are even on YouTube dedicating their lives to Redstone on Minecraft. People like Mumbo Jumbo. But yeah, I think it's a better understanding now. People have gotten older and, you know, have seen the game for what it actually is, and people can understand how it's actually come back and why it's so loved.
Do you any of you guys remember why you left Minecraft for a bit?
Other games, I guess. Just, you know, I think I thought I was a bit too old to play it. Like no one else was playing it, and I just stopped. Like, you know. Yeah,
no, that's a big thing. A lot of people stopped playing it. A lot of people saw it as uncool. You know.
Yeah,
back in the year 6 days, you were just like, I play Minecraft, and everybody hated you for it, really. But I think the reason for me not playing was games like Overwatch coming out in 2016. I spent at least 300 hours on that game. So I completely ditched Minecraft for a while. And then I came back to it just because, you know, I came back to it before, not to sound like a big, you know, hipster or whatever, but I came back to it before PewDiePie and all that started playing it because me and my friends like to play it. We like it's a way that we show our creative ability. It's a way that we can work together in survival and stuff like that. That's the reason I came back, and like the reason why I left as well. So
yeah, I think one of the reasons like I left was because like the lack of updates, really. Because because obviously I'm a console player. Like PC gets the updates a large time before console, and also with the introduction of Microsoft buying Mojang, they wanted the whole thing to be coded in C#, instead of Java, which it was coded in, which set back updates for a while, which I think really like drove players away from the game.
Yeah, no, I get that. Absolutely. I mean, you know, people are ever more buying products that they want so they can do it their way, but I think that Microsoft has done really well to keep it still in the team at Mojang's hands.
Yeah.
So they didn't really take any creative stuff away from them. They still had like most of the editorial control. They still had all of the stuff like that. So it wasn't completely taken away from them. So they could still do what they wanted and still keep it as the players wanted it to be.
Yeah, I also think Mojang's done a really good job because obviously we have this massive influx of players coming with them announcing like the Never update and like the bees and that, like to keep the players around. I think fantastic move.
Anything else?
Also, like when people left, like back in like 2016, 2017, wasn't it? When Fortnite came out, and now that people are back and like loads of updates have happened, and like people could have just come on like for like an hour or so and just wandered around, but because like all the updates came out and all this stuff has been added, they've kept coming back because like they wanted to see more of the new stuff that's been added.
Yeah. So, the future of Minecraft.
How do we think it's going to pan out?
It's probably going to die out again, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I imagine it'll start to decline now. I think obviously we have Minecraft Earth as well. I'm not sure if it's already out or is it in beta.
I think it's still in beta at the moment.
So I think that'll be all right. I don't think it'll be massive. I think it'll flop.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like Pokemon Go. It's gonna be
a big thing for a while and then it'll leave. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we have to say about Minecraft. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big thanks to Owen and Alex for helping, you know, helping do all of this. We all love the game. We hope that you can trot along and play it as well. See for yourself what we've been talking about and how much we like it. So from me, goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.